Hello, welcome to the light. Happy Easter. Today is Easter Sunday. I wanted to share something today on Easter Sunday that my grandmother would have loved. She passed away today on Easter Sunday. Well, probably almost 20 years ago, maybe 18 years ago. So, but she loved the holidays, and she always made it special, and consequently today, I love holidays. She was born on Christmas, and she passed away on Easter. As ironic as that sounds, it's true. So I want to read from Matthew 26. And it is the story of Judas betraying Jesus. And I can relate to the story. Nothing under the sun is new. Everything is in this Bible. Because I don't know about you, but if you've been living on this earth, you've probably been betrayed before. And I could tell you, I definitely have, more than once. So, this day on Easter Sunday, in memory of my grandmother, I'm going to read Matthew 26. And I should get glasses. Okay, so Matthew 26:1. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he said to his disciples, "As you know, the Passover is 2 days away. The Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people assembled in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and they plotted to arrest Jesus in some sly way and kill him. But not during the feast, they said, or there may be a riot among the people. While Jesus was in Bethany, in the home of a man known as Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, which she poured on his head as he was reclining at the table. When the disciples saw this, they were indignant. "Why this waste?" they asked. "Well, this perfume could have been sold at a high price, and the money could have been given to the poor." Aware of this, Jesus said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing for me. The poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. When she poured the perfume on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. I tell you the truth. Wherever this gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her. Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests on his own and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 silver coins. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over. On the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Where do you want us to make preparations for you to eat Passover?" He replied, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, the teacher says, my appointed time is near. I'm going to celebrate the Passover with my disciples at your house." So the disciples did as Jesus directed them to and prepared the Passover. When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "I tell you the truth. One of you will betray me." They were very sad and began to say to him, one after the other, "Surely not I, Lord." Jesus replied, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." And Jesus answered, "Yes, it is you." While they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Then he took the cup, gave thanks, and offered it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now until that day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom." When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus told them, "This very night will all fall away on account of me. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I have risen, I'll go ahead of you to Galilee." Peter replied, "Even if all fall away on account of you, I never will." "I tell you the truth," Jesus answered. "This very night, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. But Peter declared, "Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you." And all the disciples said the same. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to sorrowful and troubled. He began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Could you men not keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray, so you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak." He went away a second time to pray. "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away from me, unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed a third time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour is near. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayers." While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priest and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. "The one-eyed kiss is the man. Arrest him." Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus replied, "Friend, do what you came for." Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting his ear. Put your sword back. It's in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who draw the sword will die by the sword." Do you think I cannot tell? Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way? At that time, Jesus said to the crowd, "Am I leading a rebellion that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching, and you didn't arrest me. But this has all taken place that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples deserted him and fled. Those who had arrested Jesus took him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the teachers of the law and the elders had assembled. But Peter followed him at a distance, right up to the courtyard of the high priest. He entered and he sat down with the guards to see the outcome. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for false evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death. Sanhedrin. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for false evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death. But they didn't find any. Though many false witnesses came forward, finally 2 came forward and declared, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days." Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent. The high priest said to him, "I charge you under the oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." "Yes, it is as you say," Jesus replied. "But I say to all of you, in the future you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look now, you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" "He is worthy of death," they answered. "He is worthy of death." Then they spit in his face. They struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Christ. Who hit you?" Now Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, and the servant girl came to him. "You also were with Jesus of Galilee," she said. But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you're talking about," Peter said. Then he went out to the gateway, where another girl saw him and said to the people there, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." He denied it again with an oath, "I don't know this man." After a little while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them. Your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses on himself and swore to them, "I don't know the man." Immediately, a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken, "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." He went outside and wept bitterly. He was guilty. He was very guilty. That's guilt. So, that's the classic story of betrayal that we've all been raised on, basically. It feels a lot like that when you're betrayed in, I was going to say in real life, but when you're actually betrayed, it feels like that because, you know, when you're innocent and somebody makes you out to be some kind of horrible person that you're not. And it's usually the people that you eat with, drink with, sleep with, live with. That's why it's called betrayal, because it's not usually by a stranger. You know, it's somebody close to you that turns on you. In this case, it was for money, 30 pieces of silver. And I've had family members steal from me. So that's betrayal. And I definitely had a lot of, not a lot of incidences where I was lied on completely. Completely lied on. But I hope I always just leave that to God to fight my battles. All of them. That's what I pray, when I know that I'm being treated unfairly and when I'm being treated unjustly, or someone's just taking advantage of me, not because I don't know they are, it's just because, family gets away with a lot because, you want to trust your family. You want to trust your family, and you want to give them a chance, and you want to overlook it and say, that, they didn't mean it that way, or maybe I was being too sensitive, or, you just excuse it and say, that's how she is, or, just, good, let her have the money she stole from me, just leave it up to God, but really it's betrayal. They're betraying you, They're betraying the trust you have for them. Trust them, they're able to get away with taking things from you because you let them in your house. It's it's your sister, it's your nephew. You open the door for him. Well, you want to trust them. So strangers can't betray you because they don't know you and you don't know them. But friends do. The people that call themselves your friends. That's betrayal, because you think you know them And you think they know you. So that's why betrayal is one of the most hurtful things, because you gave them the chance to do it, to do it to you. You gave them the opportunity to betray you, and you didn't want them to betray you, but they did because they had the opportunity to do it. So when you trust somebody, you just hope. You put that kind of faith in them, and you just hope they don't take the opportunity to use it against you. You give them enough freedom to use it against you. And I don't mind, because that tells me exactly how much somebody cares about me or respects me. And for me personally, it's a great navigation to tell me. It's a great navigator to tell me exactly what somebody thinks or feels about me. I'm glad I gave them the opportunity to you know what it does? Reveal themselves. The only thing they're doing is they are exposing their very own selves as someone that can't be trusted. So now you know. Don't feel bad. Just know for yourself. It can be very hurtful. Very hurtful. It can be sting. Ooh, it can really sting. Depending on how close you get to them or they get to you. Really sting. But or how much you invested in the relationship. Give your all to people, and you sincere, and you share the shoes off your feet. And they would steal from you, from me. They would steal from me. I bought them shoes 1,000,000 times. So it's fed them, housed them, everything. Gave them money, shared everything, all kind of stuff. They would lie on you for their benefit. Lie on you, set you up, steal from you. Probably secretly hope you get killed, because it's usually hateful to betray somebody. They're usually people are, have ulterior motive. They're either jealous or want what you have. They're gonna take it, or they want to somehow ruin your reputation, so they'll lie on you. They don't think that wonder why you have so much favor, why you're so blessed. Oh, they will try to tarnish your name. Why? Because they don't have a good reputation. Because they don't go to work every day and work hard and buy things that they like. Why? They could just steal it from you. or they could lie on you because then it won't make them look so bad, person. You won't be no shining example after they get done with you. Don't go around them shining all looking perfect around certain people. They don't appreciate your happiness. They hate it. Some people hate it. They hate that, that you're happy or hardworking or honest, and it's because they lie and steal, and they're miserable. So, they don't want somebody coming around shining the light on them, so you can see how much of a thief and a liar they are. They don't want your light. They don't want that. It exposes them. So they grab a mask and hurry up, let me put this mask on and look like I'm, honest too. And wait for you to turn your back. You can't even turn your back good or sit down to go pray, and then they don't care. They fall asleep on you while you're getting killed. That's why they call it betrayal. Look, you got laugh from crying. I develop a great sense of humor. Somebody told me. I said, yeah, you have to. You have to. Otherwise, you'll let that stuff drive you crazy. I'd rather laugh about it, laugh it off instead of, get depressed. And that's what they want. I want you to get all down and depressed. See, she's not perfect after all. Look how miserable they are, when really, people wish the worst for you. Especially if they think they could benefit or steal from you or somehow use you to make them look better. Betrayal is a big subject. It's a huge subject because, like I said, depending on how close you are to a person, if you guys are really close, and you really trust them, you really love them, really in your heart, have real love for them. And regardless of what kind of misunderstandings you might get into with people, it doesn't mean you hate them or you're being hateful. It could have been a misunderstanding. It doesn't mean you hate them or you're hateful. It just honestly could have just been something that happened between you and them, but they took it as a huge offense. You took it as we'll discuss it and I'll let her know that it was a misunderstanding. They took it like, they hope you die. So they'll start spreading rumors. She did this to me. She did that to me. And the whole time you didn't mean to do them nothing. Think nothing of it. Wasn't no malice in your heart. You're just going about your business and it offended them. That's all it takes sometimes. Sometimes that's all it takes. We're always supposed to be caring about what somebody else thinks all the time. going out of our way for others all the time. You know, and giving everything we have, the shirt off our back, to others all the time. And if you don't, somehow they'll turn it into an offense. People get offended. Because maybe you did it for somebody else and you didn't do it for them. But not on purpose. You just unconsciously just could have just had something at the time and gave it to somebody. Because you had it. And they could be thinking all kinds of things in their head. She didn't give me an Easter basket. I'm just saying. It could be anything stupid. Sometimes it's the stupidest things. You wouldn't even, it's like, that people might get jealous of. Stupidest things like elementary school stuff that some people are sensitive of. But somehow they'll turn that around. And it's a form of betrayal. It is. That's what I said. Depending on how small or big, whatever makes people think of, triggers their sensitivity. They'll project that onto you, and now, they create some kind of vendetta in their head, and they're going to get you back. They're going to get you back, so now they're going to betray you. Yeah, I hope she, gets into a car accident or something. Somebody, I have an idea who, but at one time I was getting nails in my tire every week. Every week for like 6 months. I mean, it was like either every week or every other week for like 6 months. The tire guy knew my name. I don't know what, it could have been a neighbor. Probably was a neighbor. There was a malicious neighbor. At the time I had a malicious neighbor. So I suspected that. And I suspected one other person. But anyway, irregardless of that, people get things in that, and I never did anything to them. They just thought they didn't like me or something I did. And I always had great neighbors. Got along wonderfully, had parties together, and celebrated birthdays and holidays with my neighbors every year. Always. Everywhere I moved. Great neighbors. Got along with everybody. But there was this one neighbor that I was suspicious of her. And when I lived there, I got nails in my tires for like 6 months straight. Wasn't an accident. But anyway, that wasn't really a huge betrayal. I'm just saying that you don't know what's going on in people's head to make them do things against you. They are trying to get you back. They're going to get you back for something they think you did. Maybe I parked too close to her car. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's usually things that they have in their head. They're operating out of, jealousy or, just their own insecurities or something they think you did, and they're going to, do something to you. They're going to lie on you, or they're going to spread rumors about you, or they're going to, betray you or in some kind of way. So, but I'm just saying where it could come from. It could come from, you know, a place of, you don't have to do anything to, Jesus didn't do anything to anybody. He said, why didn't you arrest me when I was in the front of the temple teaching all that time? You didn't arrest me then. And they just came up with all these rumors and blasphemy and all this stuff to accuse, all these accusations and rumors and lies. Something they had in their head. Well, anyway, you could be betrayed on different levels, small and huge. And definitely been betrayed by people that were close to me. And I wasn't shocked, but I know why it happened, because, you open. When you're open, people could come in. When you're an open person and you're welcoming and you're caring and you're, share everything. When you're that open, there's room for people to take advantage of you. You just hope they won't, or hope they're, better people than that. You don't want to think the worst of anybody. So you let them in with open arms. And you see exactly, what people do with the freedom to be that open around them. When you're that open around people. Like, wow, she just left her ring on this counter and I'm right here. I could just walk out with the ring. Now, you don't think they're going to walk out with your ring because it's in your house and they came over and you're feeding them. But when they leave, your ring is gone. Huh. That's betrayal. You knew the person, they're in your house, and then all of a sudden, things are missing. Why? Because you let them in. So, you might think, well, of course I'm going to let my nephew in. It's my nephew. Of course I'm going to let my family come over and eat. They're my family. But there's also been a thief all your life, and you've been overlooking that. It's a true story, that's all. Gotta be realistic nowadays. So, that's what I want to remind us all today. It's a holiday and want everybody to be happy, but still, be careful. Be careful who you let in your home. Don't overlook and excuse and just excuse everything. Just pay attention and I hope we start standing up to these people that are against us, because that's really against you. So, happy Easter. And just be safe. Be safe. Be realistic and be aware. And still, share and have a great time. It's my prayer. That's my prayer. But I hope I can remind us to, like the passage, Jesus went around giving and sharing and feeding, people and healing them. Oh my goodness, and praying for them and baptizing, all kind of stuff to make the world a better place. And look what they did to him. Called him names, lied on him, and spit in his face. So sometimes that's what we get for putting ourselves in that open position. This is what we get. This is what we get. Sad. But just be careful. That's all. So, until next time, cut your grass. Maybe some snakes. Just watch out for yourself and protect your peace. Protect yourself and your peace, and be careful of the betrayers you're surrounded by. We all are, and they're out there. It's okay. It's okay. Just be aware that you know somebody all your life and they've been a thief all their life. All your life that's who they've been. Then just be aware. Don't think that they're not going to do it just because it's you. They do it to everybody. So they'll do it to you too. There are no honor amongst thieves. That's where that saying comes from. Ain't no honor amongst them. They'll lie, they'll steal from you. If they'll steal from you, they'll lie on you and to you and about you. So, be careful of those betrayers. Be aware, defend yourself. You don't have to be open to that. You might give people the benefit of the doubt. I do all the time. I will, always. I always will. But I hope I always, I hope I'm always generous. But I would just advise, suggest, or want to remind us, myself, to stay woke. So, have a happy holidays. Till next time, love and light.